Hi everyone, my name is Suzette, and if you're watching this, most likely you are considering or you have purchased the Snippet Strip set. This video is it's not going to be a step-by-step how to put it together, but I'm going to walk you through the different layers and kind of point out some things that you should glue first to be able to layer it correctly if you're going to choose to create it how I have created it. So on the left here is going to be set A. On the right here is going to be set B. Each snippet will come with its own individual bag with all the supplies you need. The only thing else that you'll need is glue and scissors. The glue that I like to use is Fabri-Tac. One, because it's not water-based. Water-based is like your PVA Elmer's glue, and it takes longer to dry. And so I use this for everything. All right, here on set A, I'm going to just kind of walk you through so you can see all the different layering and what to do first, right? So the first thing you're going to want to do, you're going to have this one strip here of paper. And as you can see, I've glued stuff on the back, the laces that stick out. You can glue them on the back, and I usually do it at the end, or you can glue them on the front so you don't see the edge here on the paper. So it's really just your preference. I would say lay things out first and then glue as you go once you figured out how you want to layer it. But there's some little, this is like a glitter ribbon, and you'll have a piece in there, and I've cut it in half, and I've laid a strip here, and I've laid a strip here. So that's the first thing you're going to want to glue once you figure out, where you want to set things. And then the next thing you want to do, there's a couple of layers on here. So this is green. It looks white on camera, but this is like a light green. Glue that first. Then you've got this darker colored burlap, and then this crocheted lace, and then a flower. Excuse me. And then here, this butterfly has two sets of wings. So I usually just glue the back part of the wing and then kind of push this forward so you kind of get that 3D effect where it lifts forward. But if you're going to put this in a book and you close the journal, it's going to flatten out probably each time. The other thing that you want to be mindful of is the blue string or the aqua string. You're going to want to put that on first. And I don't glue every single piece. I just glue it a couple of little dots because if you want to maybe put something underneath it, you've got that room to do that. And then another little layering here is this aqua sari silk. You're going to want to put that down first too before you put the large half pearl on. And then you'll have this little rose that you have to glue in here, and then I just hold it down a little bit so it kind of stays, because you'll see that you have to glue it on top of this stuff and it will rise unless you glue it down until it fairly glues. This you're going to want to glue in, or you can tuck it in later before you glue this little flower on. And then the rest of the stuff is just, there's a little bit of lace here that I glued on after I glued on this blue yarn, and then I put the blue flower on top. But most of the other stuff you can put on, right? Those are just the main things that you want to glue first. And then just for the little note here, I did put a little piece of that burlap underneath here, so just the butterfly would stick up a little bit. And that's, I think, all that you really need to know on that one. On the purple one, same thing. The first thing you're going to want to do is this lace that kind of has the shell kind of up and down shape. And then you're going to be mindful of probably this little rickrack with gold in it. There is some purple tulle with these little purple little kind of little rhinestones or shimmery things. That's going to go on first before you put this on. And then this purple one, I glued it on the front and not the back. So you're going to want to put that down before you put these on. And then same thing with the little Chanel yarn. You want to put that on. And I didn't, this isn't one piece. I've cut it in half and then tucked one piece in here and tucked it in here. And I did leave this hanging out in case once I get ready to place it, maybe I want to put it somewhere. I want to leave it. If I don't, then I'll cut it off later. And you can use these as is. You can cut them shorter and make them a vertical belly band. You can make them, put them on the edge of the page hole. Like this one, I've made some for myself. And I use them and I'll cut them kind of up in different areas as I'm making my journal and use them as clusters. And then again, I glued the ruffles on the back. And then I will include another piece of manila paper to glue if you want to cover this up and make this a little bit sturdier. I find it just depends on what page I'm gluing it on, that whether I need to have the more sturdy or not. Sometimes it just adds extra layer and thickness. All right, and the last one here in set A, you want to be mindful, this entire piece of lace, glue that down first. It's one big piece that you will get. And I've made it to where, in my mind, this would be the top and this would be the bottom. But again, there's nothing here like a butterfly, that there's nothing directional. So you could put it any way you want. It would go, and again, great for doing in snippets. But that's really the only thing that you need to glue first. The laces on each side, I've glued on the back. And depending on how much lace you want to show, you would just glue it more further up if you don't want all of the whole lace to show. And then everything else, this is one piece here. This is another piece. So you could just glue them, put them in place. Once you find how you like it, glue everything down. All right, moving on to set B. We're going to start with the yellow one. So here, the only thing to be mindful of is this little manila ribbon here, and then this tiny little dotted gold ribbon. You're going to want to glue those on first, the whole, and then this yellow lace. Before that, you're going to, this bright yellow trim, I have it going in this kind of whoop-de-doo shape. That was naturally because it was wound up on a spool. It just made that natural shape and I liked it, so I just glued it right here in the middle and a couple little spots here. I did put the butterfly, use that to make it, to lift it up. And then that's it. You'd put down your little flowers and glue your little buttons and your little rhinestones there. And then again, I glued the lace on the back. And then this one, same thing, this tulle with the little yellow daisies with gold, you want to put that on first. I had it hang over more on the bottom than the top. And again, I'm saying this is the bottom and the top, but it could go either way. One of the notes on this trim with the leaves, I did cut it in half, and because I wanted the leaves to go that way and that way. If you don't cut it in half, the leaves will all go in one direction. And then we've got this little white crocheted lace here, then the little ruffled tulle, and then the embroidered flower. And if you see here, you don't have to necessarily, but I do have that little yellow chenille. And see, I didn't glue it all the way down because you never know, you might want to decorate further. So I've left that, and then the little beads come in a set. It's a 4 in a row, and I've just cut them in half and put one here and one here. And then you want to be mindful of this lace to put it on before you put that on. And obviously this yellow one too, and then the tulle, and then I wanted that kind of effect of it looking in different shapes, so I put the vine on top. And then I wanted this to stick out a little bit, so I did cut off a little bit of that white crocheted lace, and I put it down and then glued the flower on top of it. All right, last one. this peach or orangey one. Again, same thing. You want to put down the whole piece of white lace first. Then the next items is the polka dotted peach ones. You'll have a piece that's fairly bigger than what I have. I just cut it in half and then put one strip here and one strip here angled. And then you want to glue your little embroidered little flowers there, chrysanthemums, I guess. I don't know what they would be. And then the chenille, I did put the chenille first here and then glued the flower on top of it. Obviously, I have nothing on that. And then the other note that I wanted to make on this, these little beads right here, it has lace and the beads are at each side of the lace. I cut it in half. I cut a little piece off. You can see about right that big. And then I just cut it in half. So this does have the lace still on it when I glued it down. This piece here, I cut the lace away from it, and because I wanted it to make that shape. So that was it. And then on the flower here, obviously too, you're going to want to hold that down till it dries nicely and is embedded in there, not stick up. Sometimes it's okay, maybe you want it to stick up. But the tool that it's sewn on, I left it on. If you don't like it hanging out, you can trim it. But I left it here and then added that little gold piece. I felt with the gold polka dots, I wanted some of a little bit of gold shining through. And then again, place your rhinestones and your beads and then glue them down when you like it. And that's it. I hope you like this. If you have any questions while you're making it, please feel free to reach out message me through Etsy. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.